Hello, gorgeous humans. Happy Monday. How are you feeling? Oh my goodness. Welcome to the morning show. I am your host, Marli Ansel, at Marli Ansel on the Instagrams. And this is the morning show where you come to get your daily dose of inspiration and level up into your highest being. It is all about real life, but we make it magical, and there is so much to talk about. So let's dive in. Happy Monday. Happy Holy Monday. Hallelujah. Praise the Jesuses. We've made it, and it's Monday. So today we're talking about what overwhelm actually is. Very appropriate for some of us on a Monday. Sometimes Mondays can feel extremely overwhelming. So today we're going to dive into what is this energy? What is it in actuality? What does it have for us? Because as we know on the Marli in the Morning show, all things are happening for our highest good, for our evolution. So we're going to dive into that today. But before we do, let's talk about those cosmos. Let's talk about what the stars are doing for us. So we've had a little bit of like a quiet few days, meaning like no major conjunctions happening right now, no things that are just right in our face. But we do now, and let me say, your chart could be very active right now. We're talking about the sky as a whole. Your chart could have a lot going on right now. So if you have, this Pluto in the first degree of Aries is conjunct your Pluto in the first degree of Aries, you are certainly. Oh, wait, no, you would never have that because that would be how you were born. If it was squaring your Pluto or squaring your Saturn or something of that nature, or even conjunct your sun. So my youngest right now, this Pluto is conjunct her sun. Whew, whew. Talk about it's a major death and rebirth to your ego. So your sun represents your ego. It is who you feel you are on the inside. It's the ego mechanism. So Pluto being the planet of death and rebirth, if it was conjunct your sun in this moment, which would mean like your birthday is somewhere around here. Words. It would be a death and rebirth to your ego. So, but what we have coming up is the Pisces New Moon. Okay, so let's talk about this because it's a bit of an oxymoron. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It essentially represents endings. New moon represents new beginnings. So we have the ending of a new beginning. How interesting. Now, here's what I think about it. I think that everything we've been doing, everything that we've been working on within ourselves since the beginning of the year, letting go of these past little pieces, is now coming to this culmination point where we say, okay, it's no longer new. Now we need to start walking it out. Now we need to start actually acting, embodying the level of ourselves that we've been building ourselves into. Because here's something we really need to talk about. You can have so much loyalty to your past self that you inevitably end up dishonoring your future self. You can have so much loyalty to these old habits, these things that don't serve you, the smallness, the limitations, that you end up dishonoring who you are actually meant to become. Let's just think about it for a second. Because if you feel the bigness inside of you, you feel the leader you're meant to be, you feel the impact that you are meant to make, you feel this power, this confidence, this level inside of you, yet you are exhibiting loyalty to smallness, exhibiting loyalty to insecurity, exhibiting loyalty to past circumstances that have long passed, long gone. They don't exist anymore except inside your mind. But something in you is attaching to them. You are dishonoring who you are meant to become. So, can we disconnect that attachment? Can we let it go? Can we let bygones be bygones? Can we let it end so that you can attach to the future evolution of who it is that you're meant to become? So let's think about this just in terms of like attachment in general is always an anchor of some sort. So if you can think about it in the physical sense, If I'm attached to something, I'm not going forward, right? Like I'm attached. And if it's anchored down, I'm not going past this point. If I, and this is something that we need to know, you are the one who's attaching. Nothing can attach to you. Nothing outside of you can hold you down. Nothing can like latch on. It's always you attached to it. So you're the one doing the grasping. If I can let it go. And the way to really start thinking about this is, why am I attached to it? Why do I feel like I need to be loyal to past insecurities, past um, places of feeling less than or small or any of like that? It's always going to come back to something around it made you feel safe. It's, there's safety in smallness. There's safety in not being seen. There's safety in not owning your power, because to own your power is a vulnerable thing. It requires courage. It requires you stepping up and being seen as a leader. There could be so many things that run through your head that go, but what if I mess it up? What if they don't like me? What if, and it will go a million miles a minute, to where then you just sabotage and just stay hidden. So we've got to look at these things, especially when you have a call on your life. You have a call on your life. I'll tell you right now, that feeling ain't never going away. Okay. Because it's your soul contract. It's what you signed up for. So, Pisces New Moon, the ending of the beginning, the ending of the new beginning. Now we're moving into a new chapter. We're moving into, it's not new anymore. It's not new anymore. Now we're going to start getting our sea legs about us and walking it out. So, what do you need to embody, totally start walking out as part of who you are? Part of who you are. Listen, if you can think it, it is existing within you. It's already yours. It is not outside of you. So we have to start owning that. Own that. I'm thinking of a really beautiful example right now of when you know what to do, but maybe you've been loyal to a past version of you. And so you don't communicate what's the best thing to do. What you know in your body is the best thing to do. You have a thought, you have an opinion, you have an idea, you have a way, but you're not communicating it because maybe the people that you are interacting with have an idea of you, of who you are, that is a past version of you. And there's something inside of us that does not want to disappoint people by showing them a new version of ourselves, by showing them the wholeness of who we are. We're afraid it's going to ruffle their feathers. So you might know exactly the best move to make. You might know exactly what's the next action you need to take to create this next level of life that you're wanting to step into. But you're holding back taking full ownership of that. Let's just think about that. You know what to do, but you're not owning it. You know exactly the steps to take, but you're holding back taking them. These are the questions where you really got to start analyzing, like, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? One of where this showed up for me was over Christmas, when I was going to see my family. Robert and I were going to see my family for Christmas. And Robert had pointed out to me that I don't lead when I'm around my family. And it is the most natural thing in the world for me to lead. My mind's already figured out what we need to do. I can see what I think is best, but I was holding back around my family because I'm the baby. It's like, well, I can't lead my dad. I can't lead my older brother. Like, I'm the baby. What are you talking about? But it is completely inauthentic for me not to lead. Truly. And so Robert pointed this out to me, and I thought, oh my gosh. Wow. I am sidestepping who I truly am in an environment, an environment that is of my past, my living at home with my family, in order to be loyal to a past version of myself, to not ruffle their feathers. I can feel, you feel it, right? You feel it. So over that weekend for Christmas, it was the smallest 1 millimeter shift. And I will tell you this, the biggest changes of your life will show up in these small 1 millimeter shifts. All I did was communicate what I was thinking. That was all I did. We were making a plan for the day, and I had it in my head what I thought the best version of the day would be, and I just spoke it. I was like, "Well, I'm thinking we should blah, 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 and then da, 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 because da, 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 da." My whole family, when I did it, they were like, "Cool, good idea. Let's do that." And I was like, "What just happened?" And then the whole weekend, what I noticed was that everybody else was in their authentic energy because I chose to be in mine. And this is the power of influence we hold. Is did what I do change them consciously? Were they like, "Oh, Marley's leading, let me be more of myself?" No. No. But because I stepped into the frequency of my own authenticity, they then mirrored that same energy back to me. It's the natural mechanism of our snow globe. It's how the whole universe works. When you step into the wholeness of who you are, and you do it with ease because it is the truth of who you are, it is in fact uncomfortable when you distort yourself to be something that you think people want you to be. It's uncomfortable for everybody. So then when you step into what you're more comfortable in, it puts an energy of ease out, and you will notice everyone else relaxing more into who they are just because of the energy you're outputting. So, all of that to say, where are you being inauthentic when you know exactly who you are? You know exactly what you need to do, and maybe you're holding it back. We need to start thinking about it, hey? All right. So today we're diving into what overwhelm actually is. This actually all goes together. Oh, I love it. It's amazing. We are all very familiar with this feeling of overwhelm. Amen. We love it. It's great. Just want to cry on the floor sometimes. So, overwhelm, I want you to think about overwhelm in terms of energy. And I want you to think about it in terms of a pipeline. So you can imagine a pipeline that has a certain amount of water running through it. That pipe has a certain amount of water pressure that it is accustomed to, and it flows, right? It just flows. If you were to double the amount of water going through that pipeline, what would it cause? What would it do to the pipe? It would put pressure on the pipe, right? So when we're thinking about the energy of overwhelm, I want you to imagine you yourself, you're like a pipeline, you're a container. There's a certain amount of energy that you're accustomed to coming through you. When we ask for more, which as human souls, don't we do all the time? I want more this, more that. And even in the most beautiful energies, more love, more joy, more abundance, we want the more. We're made to want more. And when the more comes, it comes first in energetic form. So you can imagine if you're a pipeline and you ask for more, and the universe always says yes, right? So we turned up the pipeline water pressure. So now you have more energy coming through you than you've ever had before. You're going to feel some pressure. You're going to feel overwhelmed because even though it might be something really beautiful coming in for your life, it can feel like a lot. Now, let's think about this in terms of practicality. What does this look like in real life? So, say you are in a work position or you've got your business that you're wanting to grow or whatever it is. And you say, I want more. Whether you want to rise in your position, whether you want to exercise more power and leadership over your company, or you want to grow your business in a different way, whatever it is, when you say, I want this more, the universe is going to hand you some situations you've never dealt with before, situations that are going to cause you to feel overwhelmed. In these moments, what our human mind does is it goes, something went wrong. Something went wrong. This is not okay. I cannot handle this. But in truth, what is being given to you is your up level. It's giving you the opportunity to expand your pipeline through this circumstance or situation. Now, in truth, the circumstance that you're facing, you are capable of handling, or it wouldn't be in front of you. Everything that life puts in front of us, we are capable of handling, or it wouldn't be there. It goes against the mechanism. Life will never give you anything that you are not capable of handling. But it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like, "Oh my god, I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know what to do." It feels like pressure. So, if we don't sabotage it, meaning if we don't just get rid of it, fix it, get it out of here, I don't like it. If we don't do that, if we allow that energy to come in and we breathe, let's not forget to do that, okay? Breathe and allow the situation to just be on your body. Feel the discomfort of it. Feel the discomfort. Don't run away. It's a feeling. Like, it's a feeling. We've got to get in touch with that first and foremost. Everything that your mind is making up about it is made up. It's in your mind. It's a feeling. And so if I can allow whatever the circumstance that's in front of you that feels overwhelming, feels like too much, feels like you don't know if you can handle it, feel it. Just feel it. Just be with it. Don't run away from it. Allow it to wash over you. Because what is happening in this moment is your pipeline is being expanded. And if you can allow that energy to just be there and don't try to get rid of it, don't try to sabotage it, then your pipeline, you will expand. And as you expand, then this level of energy is going to start to even out. Now, practically in your life, what that looks like is, aside from our just take a moment and don't sabotage out of it, what it looks like is realizing the situation that's right in front of you is the perfect jumping off point to the next level that you asked for. So you've got to come back into this centered point of view and say, okay, I know Marli taught me that whatever is right in front of me, I'm capable of handling. Okay. So if that's true, and it is, then I am capable of handling this situation, this circumstance. What is it calling on in me? Where is it calling on me to rise up in who I'm being? Where is it calling on me to change my perspective? Change your mindset. Because I want you to think about this. If you want to have a different level of life, that is going to require you to think differently. It's going to require you to expand your mind beyond where it has been. It's going to require you to break open some limitation that maybe you've had in place for a long time. Again, all things that are going to feel like overwhelm. Because when life shows up and it makes you question some of those core belief systems that you've had in place for God knows how long, decades, it's going to feel like things are falling apart. It's going to feel like, I don't know if I can handle it. But it's trying to force you into a more expanded perspective. Reality is perspective. So when you can change your perspective on something, you're going to change your experience of reality. So if you have this situation in front of you that feels too big, too overwhelming, you don't know how you're going to do it, you're just coping. One, breathe. But two, realize that the situation at hand is here to expand you. It's here to rearrange something in your mind. It's here to get you to see things differently. It's here to get you to activate parts of your power that maybe have been offline, have been dormant. And it's going to call on you to rise in a bigger way. If you step up to the challenge, if you rise, you're going to rise into that new level of life that you asked for, the new level of life where the more is. And again, in our practical example, that might be a promotion in your job. That might be your business growing. That might be some new level of abundance coming in. But you have to rise to what's right in front of you. You can't turn around and run away from it and then expect life to expand, right? I mean, we break it down like that and you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, overwhelm is simply your up level. Truly, overwhelm is your up level. Overwhelm is the situation at hand calling on you to see things differently. And you've got to really look at it like this. You've got to go, okay, this situation is asking me to expand some limitation I've had in place. And that's why it feels like pressure, right? Because it's pushing on that boundary. It's pushing on that limitation. It's saying you've got to expand this out if you want a different level of life. You've got to open it up. You've got to be available for this if you want to receive more than you've ever received before. Because so long as you keep your pipeline the same amount that it has always been, life can never be more. You have to expand. You have to open up. You have to rearrange your limitations that you have in your mind. And that is what's going to create that new level. So now we know whenever you feel overwhelmed, your job is to breathe. First and foremost, breathe. Okay. What's my situation at hand here? Okay. I know that I can handle it. It wouldn't be here if I couldn't handle it. So I know I can handle it. What is it asking me to expand, to rearrange, to rise up in? What is it asking of me? It's asking you to shift and change in some way. So you got to get clear on that. Don't be so stubborn, so loyal to your past self that you dishonor your future. You have got to be available for that change, available for that rearrangement, available for that expansion, and available to let go of a past limitation that maybe you felt kept you safe. In truth, we're always safe. Like soul, we're always safe. We're okay. But our minds can make up danger even in the silliest of situations. Our minds will make up social danger. What are they going to think of me? And it can feel like life or death when you are in it. You've got to be able to see outside of it. You've got to be able to look at the whole and be like, okay, this is just about me. What is life asking of me? Where is it asking me to change how I think? Where is it asking me to expand a limitation that I had set in place? Where is it asking me to rise up in who I'm being? And you got to let go of that past anchor so that you can then turn and start to develop yourself into this next level version of you that has everything that you've been asking for, that can see that level of life that you want to be living. It's all available to us. And the universe always says yes, but it's going to come in energetic form first. So we think when we say, like, I want the more, I want all of this stuff, just give me all of these things, we think that we're going to love it in the having of it. But then it comes in energetic form and we're completely blown over by it because we can't handle it. Everything that's physical is energy. So when you say, I want more, you're receiving the energy of it first. You got to be available for it. Or the physical part of it, the physical component of the energy cannot come. You see what I'm saying? So we have to allow this. Chris says this could not be any more divinely timed, this message today. Thank you. You are more than welcome, girl. I love it. So we are at the end of the beginning. You know what I want to say? We don't have the excuse anymore of I'm new at it. Pisces New Moon. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac, and we have a new moon. That's a new beginning. So we're at the end of the new beginning. So it's like there's no more, I'm not good at this. I'm new to this. I don't really know. You know. Start owning it. You know who you are. You know what you want. You know probably exactly what to do. So stop staying in that new beginning energy and really start moving into the mastery energy. You feel me on this? Like, I'm building it. I know exactly what to do. And now I'm owning it. I'm owning it. I'm going to rise in who I'm being. I'm going to expand past my limitations. I'm no longer going to be so loyal to my past self that I dishonor my future. I am going now. Boom. Amen. Woo! On a Monday. Let's go. Come on now. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. If the show resonated with you today, please share it. It helps us to share or grow our impact and share it with more people so that we can get this vibration out into the world. And if you would like to send a question in, we're starting now. We're doing Friday Q&A, which is just a dream. I love it. So if you want to send a show or a question into the show for our Friday Q&A, you can send your question to assistant@marliansel.com, or you can just message me on the socials. Perfectly fine, just so long as I can read it. And we'll start answering some questions for Friday Q&A. All right, my loves, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Monday. Rise up in who you're being. Apply what you've learned today to your actual life. That is how these changes come into play. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode of The Morning Show. Goodbye, my loves.